People of the hour, listen carefully. We are living in a world that seeks to distract you, to pull your mind in every direction, to cloud your thoughts and obscure your vision. But I tell you today, you must focus your mind. The mind is the battlefield, the place where battles are won and lost before they ever touch the ground of reality. The enemy knows this, and so he fills your life with noise. The screens, the voices, the doubts, the fears. They're all designed to scatter your thoughts like leaves in the wind. But you, child of destiny, were not made for confusion. You were not designed to live in the chaos of distraction. You were made to set your mind on higher things, to focus on truth, on purpose, on the calling that was spoken over your life before time began. Think of the archer who draws back his bow. His eyes do not wander. His gaze does not shift. He is locked on the target, unmoved by the commotion around him. You too must fix your thoughts on your purpose, on the truth that does not waver. In ancient times, the watchmen stood on the walls of the city, unwavering, scanning the horizon for any sign of danger. They were vigilant, focused, because the safety of the city depended on their watchfulness. Your mind is your wall. Guard it. Protect it from every lie, every distraction, every whisper that seeks to pull you from your path. Focus your mind, for the days are growing darker, and the world needs those who see clearly, who think clearly, who discern the truth amid deception. Discipline your thoughts. Cast down every imagination that exalts itself against your purpose. Hold fast to wisdom. Meditate on what is noble and true, and your path will be established. For when the storm comes, it is not the scattered leaves that withstand, but the rooted tree, the one planted by the waters, unmoved and unshaken. So too must your mind be, rooted, steadfast, unwavering. You must focus your mind, for in that focus, you will find the power to overcome, the clarity to see the path, and the strength to endure. It is time to rise above the noise, to silence the confusion, and to live with purpose. Focus your mind and you will change your world. The mind is the arena where the most significant battles of life are fought and won. It is the unseen realm where decisions are made, convictions are formed, and destinies are either established or derailed. Every struggle you face in the external world, whether it be challenges in relationships, work, health, or faith, has its roots in the battlefield of the mind. It is there, in the quiet chambers of your thoughts, that victories are forged or lost before they ever manifest in the physical realm. To understand this truth is to understand why the mind is so fiercely attacked by forces seeking to disrupt your purpose. Consider this: everything you do, every decision you make, every course of action you take begins as a thought. The enemy knows that if he can plant seeds of doubt, fear, distraction, or confusion in your mind, he has already gained significant ground. These seeds, once planted and left unchecked, can grow into formidable barriers that prevent you from moving forward, from fulfilling your purpose, from living the life you were meant to live. The tactics are subtle but devastating. It's not always an outright lie. Often, it's a distortion of the truth. It's the voice that tells you you're not good enough, that your dreams are impossible, that the obstacles are too great, and that the pain is too deep. It's the voice of compromise whispering that it's easier to settle than to strive, easier to remain in comfort than to walk in courage. But the mind was never meant to be a playground for negativity and deception. It was designed to be a powerful instrument of creation, insight, and transformation. The mind is the seat of thought, intention, and will. It is meant to be directed with purpose, not left open to every fleeting notion or passing shadow. When you realize this, you begin to see why it is the prime target of attack. If the mind can be conquered, everything else follows. Think of the many distractions that pull at you daily, the endless stream of information, the constant barrage of entertainment, the unending clamor of voices all competing for your attention. The world offers countless diversions, each promising to satisfy but only leaving you more fragmented and unfocused. This is not by accident. It is the deliberate strategy of a culture built on keeping you perpetually distracted, perpetually scattered, perpetually unfocused. Because a scattered mind is a defeated mind. But the good news is this: you are not powerless in this battle. You have been given the ability to choose what you allow to take root in your mind. You have the power to filter, to reject, and to cultivate. The first step to winning the battle of the mind is recognizing that it is a battle. It is acknowledging that not every thought that enters your mind has a right to remain. It is discerning which thoughts are in alignment with your purpose and which are working against it. Once you recognize the battle, you must actively engage in it. This means disciplining your thoughts, training your mind to focus on what truly matters, and guarding against the intrusions that seek to derail you. It means consciously choosing to replace thoughts of fear with thoughts of faith, thoughts of doubt with thoughts of determination, thoughts of confusion with thoughts of clarity. And yet, it is not enough to simply dismiss the negative. You must actively build the positive. You must feed your mind with truth, wisdom, and purpose. Just as a garden left unattended will be overrun by weeds, so too will your mind become overrun by negativity if it is not deliberately cultivated with truth. What you focus on grows. What you give your attention to becomes stronger. Therefore, your task is to guard your mind with diligence, to protect it from the seeds of destruction, and to nurture it with the seeds of life. The battle of the mind is not a one-time event, but an ongoing process. It requires daily vigilance, daily discipline, and daily dedication, but the reward is worth the effort. For when your mind is focused, when your thoughts are aligned with your purpose, you will find yourself equipped to overcome every challenge, to rise above every obstacle, and to walk boldly in the fullness of your destiny. Your mind is the battlefield, and it is time to reclaim it. In a world dominated by relentless distractions, the struggle to maintain focus has never been more urgent. Every day you are bombarded by 1,000 voices, 1,000,000 pieces of information, all competing for your attention. The news cycle is never ending. Social media scrolls endlessly, and entertainment is available at the touch of a button. The noise is constant, unyielding, and calculated to keep your thoughts fragmented and scattered. In this environment, clarity of thought is not just a luxury. It is a necessity for survival. Distractions are not always obvious. They often come disguised as harmless diversions, brief interruptions, or even well-meaning obligations. They whisper to you that it's okay to indulge, to take your eyes off the path just for a moment. But those moments accumulate, and before you realize it, your focus has been diluted, your purpose blurred, your progress stalled. The enemy understands that a distracted mind is a vulnerable mind, one that can be easily swayed, manipulated, and ultimately derailed from its true course. It's not enough to simply avoid distractions. You must recognize them for what they truly are. They are tools designed to pull you away from your purpose, to keep you trapped in cycles of mediocrity, to rob you of the clarity you need to move forward. And the most dangerous distractions are not those that are blatantly destructive, but those that appear harmless, those that come wrapped in comfort and convenience. Consider how often your mind is pulled away by the trivial and the temporary. How many minutes, hours, even days have been lost to meaningless pursuits, to thoughts that do nothing to advance your purpose, to worries that bear no fruit. The world around you has mastered the art of diversion. It offers endless entertainment, empty controversies, superficial debates, all designed to occupy your mind and keep you from engaging in what truly matters. But distractions are not limited to external sources. Internal distractions are just as potent, if not more so. Doubts, fears, insecurities, and unresolved conflicts can take up residence in your mind, consuming your thoughts and sapping your strength. These are the distractions that build walls within you, keeping you from seeing clearly, from thinking clearly, from living boldly. The war against distraction is not merely about eliminating what is harmful. It is about prioritizing what is essential. It requires a deliberate choice to reject what pulls you away from your purpose and to embrace what draws you closer to it. It requires the courage to say no to what is good in order to pursue what is best. In ancient times, the discipline of focus was regarded as a sacred art. Those who mastered it were able to achieve great things, for their minds were not divided. They understood that power is not found in doing many things poorly, but in doing a few things exceptionally well. They recognize that clarity of thought produces clarity of action. You must learn to silence the noise, both external and internal. This does not mean withdrawing from the world, but rather choosing what you allow into your mind. It means filtering out the unnecessary, the irrelevant, the toxic. It means cultivating an environment in which your thoughts are free to grow, to deepen, to mature. This requires intentionality. It requires vigilance. It requires the humility to admit that you have been distracted and the determination to reclaim your focus. And it requires you to be fiercely protective of your mental space, to guard your thoughts as diligently as you would guard your most valuable treasure. Distractions will never cease. The world will continue to throw its diversions at you, but you are not powerless against them. You have the ability to choose where you place your attention, to decide what thoughts you will entertain and what thoughts you will reject. The power of focus is not something that comes easily. It must be cultivated, strengthened, and protected. But when you choose to resist distractions and fix your mind on what truly matters, you will find yourself moving with greater purpose, with greater clarity, and with greater strength. The noise will still be there, but it will no longer control you. You must decide what is worth your attention and what is not. You must be willing to turn away from the distractions that seek to devour your time, your energy, your very life. Focus is your weapon, your shield, your path to victory. And when you master it, nothing will be able to stop you. In the journey of life, purpose is not just a vague idea or a fleeting dream. It is the very essence of why you exist. It is the target that your entire being is designed to aim for, the destination that guides your steps, the vision that shapes your choices. But purpose alone is not enough. Purpose without focus is like an archer drawing back his bow without a target, full of potential but devoid of direction. To truly fulfill your destiny, you must learn to focus your mind with intentionality and unwavering determination. Think of the archer, steady and composed, with his eyes locked on the mark. The tension in the bowstring mirrors the tension in his spirit, pulled taut between potential and fulfillment. He knows that if his gaze wavers, even slightly, the arrow will miss its mark. Every muscle, every breath, every heartbeat is aligned toward that singular point. There is no room for distraction, no tolerance for doubt. The archer embodies the principle of purposeful focus. You too must adopt this mindset. Your purpose is your target and your mind is the bow. It doesn't matter how strong your intentions are or how passionate your desires may be. If your mind is not aligned and focused, your efforts will be scattered, your energy wasted, and your results insignificant. Your mind must be disciplined, your thoughts trained, your vision unwavering. The world is filled with people who have passion but lack focus, who dream big but never achieve because they have never learned to aim with precision. They are busy, constantly moving, constantly doing, yet never hitting the mark. It is not the busyness of life that determines success, but the clarity of purpose and the intensity of focus. Purposeful focus is not about doing many things. It is about doing the right things with deliberate intention. Imagine trying to light a fire with sunlight scattered across a forest floor. The light is present, but it is too dispersed to ignite anything. Now, imagine focusing that same sunlight through a magnifying glass onto a single point. Suddenly, the light becomes powerful enough to set a flame. Your mind works in much the same way. A scattered mind lacks power, but a focused mind ignites purpose and sets it ablaze. To focus your mind on your purpose, you must first identify what truly matters. You must know your target with absolute certainty. Many people are lost not because they lack talent or opportunity, but because they lack focus. They chase after fleeting desires, short-lived goals, and temporary satisfactions, never committing fully to one path. They are like arrows shot without aim, landing nowhere of significance. Your purpose must be clear and compelling, strong enough to hold your attention even in the face of distractions. Once you know your target, eliminate anything that does not align with it. This means cutting away activities, habits, and even relationships that draw you away from your path. It means saying no to the good so that you can say yes to the great. It means sacrificing comfort for the sake of progress. But purposeful focus is not just about eliminating distractions. It is also about cultivating habits that reinforce your aim. Start by dedicating time each day to meditate on your purpose, to envision the fulfillment of your goals, and to remind yourself why you began in the first place. Keep your vision ever before you, like a guiding star that leads you through the darkness. Set practical, measurable goals that align with your ultimate purpose. Break down your vision into daily actions that move you closer to the mark. Stay disciplined in your routine and resist the urge to deviate just because something more comfortable or entertaining comes along. Purposeful focus requires endurance, for the journey will test your resolve. There will be moments of doubt and fatigue, but it is in those moments that you must dig deeper and refuse to let go of your aim. Guard your mind against thoughts that undermine your purpose. Doubt, fear, and complacency are like gusts of wind trying to push your arrow off course. Replace these thoughts with affirmations of truth, with reminders of your vision, and with declarations of determination. Keep your thoughts aligned with your purpose, for your thoughts shape your actions, and your actions determine your destiny. And when you stumble, when you find that your focus has wavered, do not succumb to guilt or regret. Simply realign, draw your bow again, fix your gaze anew, learn from your mistake, and press forward with greater resolve. A focused mind is not a perfect mind, it is a disciplined mind, one that refuses to be swayed by setbacks or distractions. Purposeful focus is not a single act, but a continuous practice. It is the daily decision to aim, to align, and to advance. When you learn to focus your mind with purpose, you become unstoppable, resilient, and unwavering. You become like the archer whose every shot finds its mark, not because he is without flaw, but because he is unwavering in his intent. Focus your mind with purpose, and you will find that every step, every action, and every effort brings you closer to the fulfillment of your destiny. You were made for more than mediocrity. You were designed to hit the mark, so draw back your bow, set your eyes on your purpose, and let nothing pull you away from your destined path. Your mind is the most valuable territory you possess. It is the place where your thoughts, beliefs, dreams, and intentions reside. But just as valuable territory is always sought after and fought over, so too is your mind under constant attack. The world around you and the forces that seek to derail your destiny understand the immense power of a focused mind. That is why your mind must be guarded with all diligence, protected from the lies, distractions, and influences that would seek to corrupt and weaken it. Guarding your mind is not a passive act. It is an intentional and ongoing battle. Think of a fortress surrounded by high walls, built to withstand the assaults of the enemy. Its strength lies not only in the height of its walls, but in the vigilance of those who stand watch upon them. A wall left unguarded is a wall already breached, and so it is with your mind. If you do not guard what enters, what settles, and what takes root, you leave yourself vulnerable to every deception and distraction that comes your way. The first step in guarding your mind is recognizing the reality of the battle. Many live their lives unaware of the constant attempts to infiltrate their thoughts. They allow their minds to become dumping grounds for negativity, doubt, and purposeless noise. But you must understand that not every thought that enters your mind has a right to remain. Not every opinion you hear, not every image you see, and not every idea you encounter deserves a place in your mental landscape. Just as you would not permit thieves to walk freely through your home, you must not allow destructive thoughts to take residence in your mind. The mind is like fertile soil. Whatever you plant within it will grow. If you plant seeds of truth, purpose, and determination, they will bear fruit. But if you allow the seeds of fear, doubt, and distraction to be sown, they too will produce their own bitter harvest. To guard your mind, you must be discerning. You must actively choose what you allow yourself to dwell upon. When a negative thought arises, you have the power to reject it. When a lie is spoken over you, you have the authority to cast it down. You must be willing to confront every thought that contradicts your purpose and replace it with thoughts that affirm your calling. Guarding your mind also means establishing boundaries. Just as a fortress has gates to control what comes in and goes out, so too must you establish gates for your own mind. These gates are your beliefs, your principles, and your standards. They are the filters through which every thought must pass. When you set high standards for what you allow into your mind, you strengthen your ability to remain focused, clear-minded, and purposeful. Consider the countless sources of information vying for your attention each day. The media, social platforms, conversations, entertainment, and even your own internal dialogue can all serve as entry points into your mind. You must choose wisely what you expose yourself to, for not everything is worthy of your attention. What you allow into your mind will shape your perspective, influence your decisions, and ultimately determine your destiny. It is not enough to simply reject the negative. You must also actively cultivate the positive. Fill your mind with truth, wisdom, and inspiration. Surround yourself with voices that uplift, encourage, and challenge you to grow. Invest your time in learning, in reflection, in meditation on things that strengthen your purpose rather than weaken it. The more you fill your mind with what is true and noble, the less room there will be for anything that seeks to destroy your focus. Guarding your mind requires vigilance. Just as a watchman must remain awake and alert, you must remain conscious of what is happening within your thoughts. There will be times when you grow weary, times when the battle feels endless. But it is precisely during those moments of fatigue that you must press on. Your mind is too precious to leave unguarded. Understand that guarding your mind does not mean building walls so high that nothing new can enter. It means having the discernment to know what to accept and what to reject. It means exercising authority over your thoughts rather than allowing them to rule over you. It means filtering every thought through the lens of your purpose and choosing only those that align with your destiny. And when you fall short, when you find that you have allowed negativity to creep in, do not despair. Simply take back control. Recognize the intrusion, remove what does not belong, and fortify your mind with renewed determination. For the battle of the mind is ongoing, and it is not perfection that you seek, but persistence. Your mind is the gatekeeper of your destiny. Guard it with diligence. Protect it from everything that seeks to undermine your purpose. And when you do, you will find that your clarity of thought, your strength of focus, and your power to fulfill your calling will be unshakable. Discipline and clarity are two sides of the same coin. One cannot exist without the other. Discipline is the structure, the framework that holds everything together, while clarity is the vision that gives purpose to that structure. Without clarity, discipline becomes rigid, routine, without meaning. Without discipline, clarity becomes nothing more than wishful thinking. The two must work in harmony to produce results that are powerful and lasting. Discipline is the art of training your mind to focus, to reject distractions, and to remain steadfast in the pursuit of your purpose. It is the conscious effort to mold your thoughts and actions to align with your highest calling. Discipline requires consistency, perseverance, and the willingness to sacrifice temporary comfort for long-term fulfillment. It is the process of building strength within your mind, training it to resist the noise and chaos that surrounds you. Clarity, on the other hand, is the light that cuts through the fog of confusion. It is the ability to see your purpose clearly, to understand your goals, and to recognize the steps required to achieve them. Clarity provides the roadmap, but it is discipline that keeps you on the path. Without clarity, even the most disciplined efforts can be wasted on pursuits that are not aligned with your true calling. To achieve clarity, you must first eliminate the noise. The world is filled with countless voices, each competing for your attention, each offering you a different path to follow. But if you allow yourself to be swayed by every opinion, every distraction, every fleeting desire, you will find yourself wandering aimlessly, never arriving at your intended destination. Clarity begins with silence, learning to quiet the external noise so you can hear the voice of purpose within. Once you have achieved clarity, discipline must follow. It is not enough to know your purpose, you must actively pursue it. And pursuit requires effort, consistency, and resilience. Discipline is the commitment to continue moving forward even when the path becomes difficult, even when distractions seek to lure you away, even when doubts whisper that you should give up. Discipline and clarity must be cultivated daily. It is not a one-time decision, but a continuous process of refining your thoughts, your habits, and your actions. It requires setting priorities and adhering to them even when easier, more convenient options present themselves. Discipline requires you to value your purpose above your comfort, your goals above your distractions. Clarity must be guarded and renewed regularly. The world will constantly try to cloud your vision with doubt, fear, and confusion. But clarity is not a fragile thing. It is a force that grows stronger the more you feed it with truth, purpose, and intentionality. The clearer your vision becomes, the more powerful your discipline will be, for it is much easier to stay on course when you can see where you are going. Discipline is not about rigid control, but about purposeful guidance. It is about training your mind to recognize what truly matters and to reject what does not. It is about building mental muscles that allow you to endure hardship, to overcome temptation, and to remain steadfast when the world around you is pulling you in countless directions. Clarity is not about having all the answers, but about knowing where you are headed. It is about holding your purpose before you like a guiding light, allowing it to illuminate the path forward. When you are clear about your purpose, decisions become simpler, distractions lose their power, and your actions become infused with meaning. The disciplined mind is one that has learned to submit to clarity. It understands that every thought, every action, every choice must be aligned with the vision it seeks to fulfill. It does not allow itself to be swayed by passing emotions or temporary discomfort. It is rooted in something deeper, something stronger, something unshakable. But discipline alone is not enough. It must be accompanied by reflection and recalibration. You must regularly examine your thoughts, your habits, and your progress to ensure they remain aligned with your purpose. Discipline must be flexible enough to adjust when clarity reveals a better path, yet strong enough to remain committed to the pursuit of your calling. Clarity, too, requires nurturing. It requires moments of stillness, moments of reflection, moments of reaffirmation. The more you invest in clarifying your purpose, the stronger your discipline will become. The two work together in a beautiful synergy, each strengthening the other, each empowering the other to reach new heights. Understand that clarity and discipline are not one-time achievements, but lifelong practices. They require constant attention, constant effort, constant dedication. But the reward is worth the struggle. For when you discipline your mind and keep your vision clear, you become unstoppable. You become resilient, focused, and powerful. You become the master of your own mind, the guardian of your own destiny. And when you walk in the strength of disciplined clarity, nothing in this world can stand in your way. The power of a focused mind is beyond measure. It is the force that turns dreams into reality, the strength that drives ordinary people to accomplish extraordinary things. When your mind is truly focused, every part of your being aligns with your purpose. Your thoughts, your actions, your words, and your emotions all work together in harmony to move you forward. Focus is the catalyst that transforms mere intention into powerful action. A focused mind is like a sharpened blade. While a dull blade can make contact without making an impact, a sharp blade cuts through with precision and purpose. In the same way, a scattered mind may expend energy, but it will produce little of value. A focused mind, however, concentrates its energy with pinpoint accuracy, slicing through distractions and obstacles with ease. The power of focus lies in its ability to amplify everything you do. It is not merely about concentrating on a task, it is about channeling your entire mental and emotional energy toward a single, well-defined goal. Focus intensifies your efforts, making them more efficient and effective. It allows you to accomplish in hours what others may struggle to achieve in days. But focus does not come easily. It requires effort, discipline, and the willingness to eliminate what does not matter. It requires the courage to prioritize your purpose above all else, to silence the noise that seeks to divert your attention, and to remain committed even when the path is difficult. The power of focus is not given, it is earned through diligence and determination. To unlock the power of focus, you must first clear your mind of clutter. Just as a garden cannot thrive when overgrown with weeds, your mind cannot function at its highest capacity when it is filled with distractions, negativity, and confusion. You must actively clear away the thoughts that do not serve your purpose. You must uproot the doubts, the fears, the insecurities that threaten to choke the life out of your vision. Clearing your mind is not a one-time event. It is a continual process of purification. Every day you must choose to release what does not belong, to let go of what does not serve your higher calling. This requires awareness, the ability to recognize when your thoughts are straying from your purpose, and the willingness to bring them back into alignment. Once your mind is cleared, you must feed it with the right thoughts. Just as a fire requires fuel to burn brightly, your focus requires inspiration, motivation, and direction to remain strong. You must continually remind yourself of your purpose. Continually nourish your mind with the vision of what you are working toward. When your thoughts are filled with purpose, your focus becomes unshakable. But even the most focused mind will encounter obstacles. There will be times when distractions appear overwhelming, when challenges seem insurmountable. It is in these moments that the true power of focus reveals itself. For focus is not only about concentration, it is also about resilience. It is about refusing to be swayed by external circumstances, about holding your gaze steady even when the world around you is in chaos. The power of focus is also about clarity of action. When your mind is focused, your actions become intentional. You do not waste time on activities that do not contribute to your purpose. You do not allow yourself to be drawn into conflicts that do not matter. Instead, every step you take is purposeful. Every decision you make is aligned with your vision. Focus also brings with it a sense of peace. When your mind is truly focused, the noise of the world fades away. You become centered, grounded, rooted in something deeper than the distractions of daily life. You find a place of stillness within yourself, a place where your purpose shines with clarity and strength. This state of focus is not something you achieve once and for all. It is a continuous practice, a discipline that must be cultivated and maintained. It requires vigilance, the constant awareness of what you allow into your mind, and the conscious effort to keep your thoughts aligned with your purpose. But the rewards of focus are beyond anything the undisciplined mind can imagine. It is the power to turn vision into reality, to break through barriers, to achieve what others deem impossible. It is the force that allows you to persevere when others give up, to see opportunities where others see obstacles, to move forward with purpose when others are lost in confusion. Understand this: the power of a focused mind is not something reserved for the gifted or the fortunate. It is available to anyone willing to cultivate it, to protect it, to harness it. It is a gift that is yours for the taking if only you are willing to discipline your mind and clarify your purpose. When you focus your mind with intention and determination, there is nothing you cannot achieve. You become a force of purpose, a person of unwavering resolve. And when you reach that state of focused power, the world itself will have no choice but to yield to your vision.